What's up, guys? Matt, aka Jug2 Driver, Skill 4x4 RC, starting part 7 of the Wraith build. This is actually the chassis roll cage section, putting those together. Starting out first with the rear light buckets. There's 2 of these. You're just going to see the construction of one because it's identical. So that's what we got right now. Just a couple small screws, about 3-4 pieces go into this. You got your bucket itself, the retention clip for the light, with the LED if you've got it in there, and then the lens itself. Nothing too complicated about that. There you go. Pop the lens in. One complete light bucket. Obviously, you're going to do 2 of those. Now you're building the rear section of the chassis. This is actually also going to house the battery as well. But you're looking at what is essentially the rear end of the chassis. A couple long screws here. Use my little cheating method with a drill. You'll see it. I tighten it down, but I don't get it fully tightened. I actually use the hand driver for that, so I don't over tighten, over torque these, so I don't strip them out. I'm just making sure they're good and snug. And there you have it. Next is on to the battery tray installation. Or I'm sorry, installing the light buckets. I guess I shouldn't jump ahead. 1 screw, no biggie here. You're just gonna see me do the 1. There you go. Now it's on to the battery tray installation. So first you're gonna run your straps through. Nothing complicated about this, guys. So not too much to say. Just get those and make sure you got them right so that they work properly. You don't have them backwards. And then it's going to be 4 screws that hold it in. And I do these like I do a lot of the other stuff. Kind of cross one, kind of like you would a set of lug nuts. That way I just don't over tighten or tweak anything. So yeah, final screw on the battery tray. And this is like I said, the rear portion of the chassis. Done. Now we're starting on what is the right side. What I'm pointing out there is that you want to make sure you pay attention to the part number, because on the pieces themselves, they may not completely match up with the number that's in the instruction manual. So go look at the parts list at the front of the manual to locate the correct parts. You just have to double check and make sure. One thing you also want to check and follow closely is there are several different screw sizes that go into this. So you want to make sure that you're using the correct length ones, because you will end up, as I did here, you'll end up having a long screw into a short hole, or vice versa, and so you'll have to unscrew one. But just make sure you pay attention to which screws go where, and where the short ones go, where the long ones go. See, right here's where I messed up. Put the wrong screw in there, so I have to swap them out. So, my mistake. Hopefully you learn from it. You see that particular section right there, you'll use 2 different screw sizes on that front shock mount. You'll use a shorter one in the front of that mount, and then a longer one on the rear portion of that mount. So, like I said, just pay attention. Don't rush it like I did, and you'll be fine. And now we're nearly done with this side of the chassis, except for 1 more piece. This is, if I remember correctly, this is going to be part of the front bumper mount. And so these just kind of run those through. You'll use this piece here, which is what's ultimately going to hold the battery, the radio tray. What I'm pointing out there is make sure that you pay attention to which side is top and bottom. It has sort of a beveled, recessed edge for the screws to go into, so they sit flush. That you want facing down. So just make sure you note that, because it's easy to get that reversed. And so that's the right side, passenger side. Now we're on to the left side. This is going to be essentially a mirror image of the other side. So just follow the same steps. Just remember to pay attention to your screw size, and just go about it slowly and smoothly. And once I get done with this, you'll see after I've installed the front shock mounts and the bumper mount on the front, we'll switch back to the right side, and we'll install the battery tray. And this video will seemingly end kind of abruptly at that point, because you'd expect me to start joining the two pieces together, but that's not the way this particular chassis goes together. There's some other parts that happen next. The next part will be the radio receiver tray box, rather, and so that'll be coming up next, and then that will go into the chassis, and then parts of the interior will go in after that. So it's not as cut and dry as you would think. You just slap the two sides together and there you are. But you'll see that forthcoming. But right now, this is going to be the final piece of this particular build section, where I install the battery tray onto the what is the passenger side, or the right side of the chassis itself. So this goes together with a series of 3 screws, I believe it is. Pretty straightforward. Again, just make sure you're using the correct size screws, so you don't strip it or not have enough in there. And onto the final screw for this particular portion of the build. So there you go. Stay tuned for the next part coming up in just a little while. So appreciate it. Stay tuned.